No, I visited the strange man in my dream, and he's all the way up north near Brackenrest now. So
We're leaving the Bone Zone to meet strange men at a rest stop.
You
I mean,
knew
if it
the
helps, I
group
was
you were
half
playing
asleep.
with. It doesn't really help, but you know, that's good to note.
All right, if everybody's back, you are finally met with the light of the sun outside. It feels like it's been forever. It hasn't been that long, but still all that time cooped up in the Underdark with only the smell of mold. Kind of wears on you after a certain point.
It's gross.
You've got fresh air, nice breeze. It's a nice day. You can hear the sound of birds singing.
Oh, it's really nice out there, Alicia.
Mm.
It would be good to have a nice rest under the stars, you think?
I think it would be better. I would rather arrive at the city during day to get a feel on what's going on, as opposed to arriving late at night, not having a clue. And like, I don't know where the inns are or which ones are reputable or anything, really.
It certainly would make it easier to put our best foot forward.
Your best foot forward, maybe. No, I'm kidding. That's like that's all you diurnal people.
Damn, sorry, didn't know you didn't want a nap.
I mean, oh, that's why would you do? See, this is what happens. You fuck with their head, and you're like, you could nap sooner, and then just throw off your clock completely. And they do love naps though, so they're like, fuck it.
I'm just saying, we're on the surface. If we find some like herbs along the way, I could make some baller soup.
I love the original game plan. Was like, well, we'll just like cut it in half, where we'll all do like half a little bit later in the day, so we're half in the day and half at night. But no. But no, it's fine. I think whatever you guys. Salim's not going to turn down rest along the way, so.
Yeah, I'm feeling because it'll be a little while to get to the Giant's Rest, and then we can pit stop there, camp for the night, and then get to Brackenrest early and during the day and get a feel for what's going on.
Maybe someone else will bring us food that we can throw in the dirt in front of them.
Game plan then, everybody agrees, is to head off to get a rest at Giant Stop.
Yeah.
Sure.
Woo! Also, it's familiar territory now, so. Oh, Clover.
So as you guys start hunkering down as the sun's going down, what's the sort of mood at camp like now that it seems like the Underdark is now behind you?
I think, Bartleby wasn't. The Underdark's creepy, but it's not like he was upset being underground, but it is kind of nice to be back in familiar territory.
I think Salim seems slightly more comfortable being able to see the sky and being out on the surface. And they do have the things to help with the plague and all of that, so it's like they're moving in the right direction and they're resting, which is nice. So it's like extra time, like we're going a little bit slower, which is good. So they're slightly more comfortable in that way, but I do think there's just this slight. It's probably hard to tell because I think they're usually, unlike me, usually much more quiet. But I think they still think like with Rook and Gnome is still weighing a little bit, where they just feel slightly awkward or tense or not sure how to interact, and so are kind of just either a little bit more quiet or like seem not troubled, but like distracted.
Does anybody note Salim's behavior? If you're not sure, you could always roll insight or perception.
It would be subtle, so it's not. It would be easy to miss.
I'll roll insight.
And Rook would probably just
Yeah.
automatically know, given.
Oh,
Oh.
wow.
Yeah, Rook
Yeah,
does
Rook
know.
definitely
I think
knows.
Rook knows.
Which makes sense given you're there and know that you're part of
Right.
the reason. So like, hey, your buddy's lying to you.
Yeah,
You
I
should talk
don't
to him
know.
again.
Briar,
Rook
not so
reads
much.
your mind.
No. Briar's too distracted by this skeleton and the wonders that the Osteomancer could do with this.
Oh my god, he could have came with us and he would have loved this.
He's gonna get here eventually. He said he's gonna meet
Yeah.
us in Brackenwood.
Right. He's
gonna be
definitely
so
passed
excited.
by
He's like,
here.
can you imagine the bones I saw on the way here?
This could be the
fun.
stage for his
I
show.
could live in these bones.
What sort of show do you think the Osteomancer could put on with this sort of material?
A very big one, I imagine. Do you think he's that powerful?
I would think any dance routine with this would be quite dangerous.
Oh, there you are.
Also true.
Hmm. Can I try a roll to forage and actually get
Yeah,
some
roll survival.
fresh things to eat? Well, I also have guidance. So.
Okay. Yeah, with guidance it puts you
Oh.
over, so you do manage to find, some simple herbs and stuff. You could probably make a nice little like broth for a soup, and there's some berries about. Nothing too spectacular, but it makes for a nice little meal with the rations.
I was gonna say at this point we've been living off rations since we left, so a little bit of fresh food seems nice. Creature comforts.
Yeah. So as Bartleby puts together a nice little meal for everybody, and everybody sort of unpacks and hunkers down for the night. It starts to get dark. So, were we planning to have take turns for tonight? Everyone keeping watch?
Yeah, we can do that. That's what we did last time.
I'm happy to do so.
Maybe if you're all okay with it, I'll take last watch. That way I can start making breakfast.
Sure. It's closer to the morning too, which I might be taking more at nighttime.
So, Bartleby and Celine will take turns for our watch. Did anybody else want to help out, or?
Briar would absolutely take a shift of watch as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was gonna say, I don't think Salim needs as much sleep, so it's also fine if if as needed, they can take.
Sure.
Oh,
Just
that's
let me know what
better.
the turn order is.
You do elf meditation. Boop, 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 boop.
Yeah, they choose to dream.
Yeah.
Uh,
So yeah, Bartleby will be last if that's okay.
Okay. What's up first?
hmm.
If no one volunteers, Briar would go first, but it would make sense for Salim to go just because, as the sleep one, they should probably have the most uninterrupted sleep.
That's true. I mean, they're also nocturnal and they need less sleep. Oh, they would never say that. They would never say they need less sleep. They'll take the full
Yeah.
amount. But yeah, sure. I mean, Slim would be happy to go first then, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, so if everybody could roll perception for me, just so we can see if anybody catches anything in their watch.
And do. Let me find my buttons.
Nope. Can only roll 9s today.
Maybe. Oh, jeez.
We'll
Oh,
roll divided
no.
by bonus.
We're all rolling.
What a peaceful night.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, so yeah, as you're up first, Salim, as everyone sort of hunkers down for sleep, you hear something very peculiar in the distance.
Mhm.
Hear the sound of voices singing.
Hmm.
Do you
Mm.
try to investigate further?
I think so.
Okay. From the direction you see what looks to be a trio of torches, all heading south. Doesn't seem like they're stopping at Giant Stop. But you can hear their voices as you kind of point your elf ears in the direction, singing, "Step, step through muck and mud we go. Drip, drip, hear the swampy waters flow. Creep, creep, shadows dance, lanterns swing. Snap, snap, little bones for seasoning."
Oh, no.
Jesus
Oh,
Christ, you found witches.
they're not heading towards us.
They are heading past you.
Do I get a sense of what they look like?
Sure, why don't you give me a... Let's see. You could do either a nature check or
Mm,
you could say another perception.
yeah, let's do that. Nature's not. Oh, cool, cool.
They have a sort of diminutive sound to their voice. And judging from their height, they're not very tall.
Uh,
You do have inspiration from earlier, right?
yeah,
You didn't last session, I don't think,
I
right?
didn't know.
Oh.
Um, yeah, I'll use inspiration. This shouldn't be the role I use inspiration on, honestly, but fuck
Are you
it.
sure?
Why you say that? It's gonna be like the next segment. It's gonna be like, hey, you rolled a 1 at this critical moment. Fuck it, I'll roll it. Inspiration just makes you roll again.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we already learned tonight that the side content is what we're doing here.
A little better. Still probably
Okay.
not.
You get the sense that they're probably goblins.
Yeah. Are they? They're moving past us. Does that mean that they would like see our camp though as they're going, or are they just kind of?
From what you
Or-
can tell, they seem to be of very single mind. Doesn't seem like they're making any stops.
Well, that's not our business. It's not our circus or our monkeys, but I do want to know where they're going.
As you wonder that, you hear them sing, "Ooh, ooh, the witch will stir the stew. She's saving a place for you. Toss in eyes, the teeth and toes. Watch the pot as bubbles and grows."
Oh fuck. I also don't know how long they're gonna be. Their destination might be super far away. I'm like, I could try to follow them for a little bit.
That's up to you.
Slim will try to follow them for a little bit.
Sure, roll stealth with advantage.
Cool. That's good because I have a -1. And that's great because I did roll a 1, so a 15 is much better. So
Yeah. So as you follow along, you do see that it doesn't seem like they're getting off course at all. They are heading straight south, no stopping or veering off towards your camp at all.
Oh my gosh, should I like... I could try to do an illusion. Like, I don't want to fight, especially, I don't want to wake everybody up. I don't want to fight by myself. I should just let them do their own thing. But if they're like doing something awful...
Or what if they're doing something cool?
When was the last time goblins did something cool?
And they're like, the way they're describing, they're like, yeah, we're gonna put all this shit in a pot and boil it, and it's gonna be people's bones. Again,
Yeah.
with bones.
I was gonna say, we just made friends with the osteomancer by learning his whole thing.
Well, as
We
you
were
know, as a cook, bones make for some of the best broths.
That's true. Bones are gelatin.
Mm.
Num num num.
High nutritional value.
Okay, I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna create. Am I close enough where I can create a minor illusion near them?
What is the range on minor illusion?
Let's see. Edit. Oh, 30 feet.
Definitely not.
Damn.
You want to like shoot it above you.
I mean, it still would be pretty tiny though, 'cause it's like a 5-foot cube. So I guess I could be close to them, but alright, so I think I'm gonna try. I'm gonna shoot it as close to them as it can get, and I'm gonna do 2 illusions at the same time, so I can have 3. One is going to be a do I know what goblins worship? If they worship anything?
Yes. You could do a religion check to find out.
Hell yeah.
Oh, nice. Yes, so you are aware that the goblins have a rather peculiar deity known as the Mighty One or the High Chieftain. His name is Maglu Bayet, god of goblins, hobgoblins. Not a particularly pleasant god. Known for being a sort of being that thrives on suffering.
I think Salim's gonna. One of the illusions is going to be like a common symbol of Maglabiat. Like either. I don't know. I'm trying to think. Whatever would be a like. I'm assuming something gross, but
It's
like.
a bleeding axe actually would be their sigil for him.
So as close to them as they can cast it, they're going to put the bleeding axe kind of hovering like a spectral bleeding axe floating near them, and then the second illusion is going to be like this kind of deep voice coming from it, just be like, state your destination, and see what they say.
They all turn and immediately start screaming.
Jesus Christ.
And you hear one of them shout, "Snaglock!" And you can assume that that is some kind of goblin curse word.
The
Another one.
illusion repeats like it state your destiny, just like a bad recording.
You hear one of them in a quivering voice go, "Lord?"
Alright. It's gonna say state your destination again, and then the last illusion that they're gonna cast is another voice very similar saying state your purpose. So destination and purpose.
"Lord, we're on a mission to collect tidings from the witch in the south."
Someone's gonna dismiss the 2 audio ones and do another one and goes, tell me of this witch of the south.
she owes money. Yes, lots of money. We are collectors, tax collectors.
Yeah. The illusion falters a bit. It seems like the fuck. Um.
She has gambled much. Yes, yes.
She. So they said they're collecting money from her.
That's what they said.
They're loan sharks.
Oh my god. Um.
This is the content we all want.
Down south. Okay. Last illusion is gonna be like, tell me her abode. Like, where is? If they can be specific about where she's at, basically.
We follow the road. Yes, the road to the swamp.
Okay. I guess so he's gonna do his best then to just unfuck this situation and be like, all right, one last. He's gonna do an audio illusion, just like it's gonna like sound like a saloonite. It's gonna be the deep voice, but like, go forth, my children, and then just something, and try to like dismiss them, and then they're gonna dismiss the illusions.
As that happens, you hear them screaming and running as one of them shouts, "I pissed myself."
Oh my god. Okay, well, Slim's gonna make their way back to the top of the skull. That's cool, I
But
guess.
aren't you glad we know this now?
It's good that we know there's a witch in the swamp down south. I did want to know that, but as long as they're not trying to attack us or
Eh,
boil some people along the way, then
And she's a gambler, and she's clearly bad at it.
oh my god, she probably
Right.
has triple triad. We have to go down south, you guys.
So yeah, as Salim finishes up their watch, do you fill Briar in on the strange happenings?
I think so, yeah. Just as like a little status report, since Briar's the next one, and just put like, I saw some goblins. They're going to collect money that some witch owes them down south in the swamp, but they seemed very committed. They didn't even stop or see us.
Briar blinks sleepily at Salim. If they didn't stop or see us, how did you learn they were heading south to collect money?
Slim just goes, look, there's always time to listen to people's dreams.
Briar seems to accept this and takes her place on top of the skull.
Yep, perfect.
Oh my god. I would also like to note there is a witch's hut on our map now. It
Hell
is
yeah.
very out of the way.
Look, they had hopes and dreams, and Slim wanted to hear about them, but also,
I love it.
So it's a fairly uneventful rest of the night for Briar as she kind of looks out into the dark. No signs of anything peculiar, at least that you can make out. Do you say anything to Rook as he takes his watch?
Briar will let Rook know that Salim claims to have seen some goblins on their way to collect money from a witch.
I love this
But
telephone game.
that was it.
By the end of the night, it's going to be so some trolls came by and they were trying to get money out of the
We were
sand.
extorting witches.
I found 3 witches on the side of the road snorting cocaine and gambling.
Rook would similarly be like, okay, before going to take his watch.
So as Rook goes to take his watch, you see Gnome rise up from his sleeping bedroll and asks, "Would you want some company.
I don't see why not.
Your pair of eyes can't hurt, right?
Of course, considering I can't see in the dark like everyone else.
Well, I didn't want to say anything, but I did kind of have that in mind.
Damn.
He takes a spot up on the skull.
As does Rook.
He casts dancing lights and shows one out to sort of give you a better view of things.
Rook looks appreciative.
So, we haven't talked much on this journey, you and I.
No, we haven't. But I haven't talked much to anyone else.
I have noticed that. You're a fairly secretive man.
Also, just don't like to waste words.
Understandable. Would it be a waste of words to ask you more about yourself?
No, by all means. You can ask me anything you want, but getting answers will be here and there.
Fair enough. A man must have his secrets.
Indeed.
So, do tell, how did you get into your arts? He kind of points out your tattoos with some fascination.
He kind of turns the visible ones on his right arm over and he says, well, I didn't like the idea of someone stealing my work, and this would be very difficult to take from me.
Ah, so it's more about preservation and less about artistry.
I mean, there is artistry. I don't just put any old thing on my body.
I'm quite impressed with it.
Thank you.
I am an admirer of the arts, though I've never quite seen such beautiful and intricate tattoos.
Or kind of raises his eyebrows a little bit. He says, well, thank you. It is my practice, and like I mentioned, I don't want to be covered in little amateurish scrawlings, so...
I suppose not, especially if they are permanent. Do they hold any significance for you? The aesthetic, I mean.
Oh god. He sort of just shrugs and he says, well, I do admit that the aesthetic sometimes turns people away, which is optimal at times.
And they find it too macabre, too dark, I suppose.
Yeah.
Well, I will say that I don't feel that way. I think they're quite beautiful.
Well, there is a certain beauty in death and the dark, and certainly there is beauty in bones.
As we have learned from our friend.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I've always been of the mind that really the sweet doesn't taste sweet without the bitter. To know death, to know the dark, is to know life and to know the light.
Rook kind of raises his brows and he goes, well, sounds like you have a very intimate relationship with death. Don't suppose you could elaborate on that, perhaps?
I would say that death comes for us all in one way or another. Some sooner than others. Some, I suppose, like to hold on to it in weirder ways than others, from what we saw of a certain wizard.
Indeed, indeed. Did you find that behavior as aberrant as I did, or do you think otherwise?
It's peculiar. I don't imagine that any of those dragons would like to have their bones used for puppetry, but you can't say that they're putting much use to them now, are they?
No. So you don't like the idea of, say, our osteomancer friend using dragon bones in a puppet show?
Suppose I'm indifferent. I imagine I would feel quite differently, though, if it was the bones of my brother or my sister.
That is a very fair point.
All about perspective, I suppose. But then again, I suppose most things are, huh?
Indeed. I mean, both you and Salim are among the first draw I've met, and you're both quite different.
I suppose we've had very different experiences. Come from very different peoples. But there's nothing wrong with a little difference between folks.
No, of course not.
In fact, I enjoy the perspective that they bring.
Rick just kind of nods slowly in agreement.
You know, I have to say I'm a little jealous of your skills. Not with magics, although that is quite impressive. I mean with your arts. I wanted to be a calligrapher when I was young, but none of the schools back at home would accept me. They said someone who writes with a left hand will always mess up the ink.
Well, that's not necessarily true.
I suppose the Shamani are quite strict about things.
And you never
Stuck in
sought
their
a-
ways in some ways.
You never sought a teacher elsewhere?
Never had. I was always too concerned about making coin that after all of that, I figured if I couldn't pursue my dreams, then perhaps I could help my brother pursue his. I put him through schooling as an apothecary, and by extension, I learned a lot from him myself. It's strange the things you pick up from the people you love, eh?
Is, your brother the one that taught you your magic?
Indeed. Quite smart, that one. He knows everything there is to know about most forms of herbology, botany, the sort, aromas.
Is that what he's doing now, back home, or...?
Oh, yes. Brewing all sorts of perfumes and potions, no doubt. Him and his lovely wife. Keep saying that they're hoping to save up for a child. Not to have one, but to adopt.
That's very kind of them. Do they just want to do that out of the kindness of their own hearts, or?
Oh, certainly. You won't find kinder hearts than my brother and sister.
Rook kind of nods slowly and he says, "You sound like you have a very lovely family."
I am very rich in love, that is to be sure. Though perhaps with some luck I'll have some coin to bring home. Maybe help their dream come true. I wouldn't say no to being an uncle. I think I'd be rather good at it.
Rook nods again and he says, "Well, even if you don't make the coin, at least you have a good story to tell."
I suppose that's half of the struggle, right? Got to have something to tell the little tyke at some point.
He nods again, and after a beat, he says, or rather he asks, "If I could get you to opine on something, I would appreciate it as someone who's perhaps unbiased in certain ways."
I'm all ears.
What do you make of our friends just vanishing, coming back and saying they've talked to devils?
People communing with devils can never lead to a good thing. For all their promises, there's always a fine print, always something unsaid. A word that could be twisted here, a word that could be twisted there. It will always end badly, I'm afraid. But so long as they stay steadfast and tell the devil where he can go back to, I don't see any harm in seeing if they can weasel some information out of him.
Very well.
Do you worry about what might happen? This devil who's taken an interest in our little quest.
Of course. He hasn't spoken to you, has he?
No, not a word.
Can I roll to see if he's lying?
Absolutely. Roll insight.
Well, shit.
You, hearing those words, you're just like totally assured. There's no way that Gnome could possibly be lying to you.
Dome is the most honest person you've ever met.
Obviously.
Obviously.
Rook kind of bobs his head thoughtfully and he says, "Well, it's nice to know that someone in our group hasn't been tempted by some sort of devil or outside force like that."
Well, I suppose we can't always know for sure, but I'd like to trust our friends. For whatever secrets that they all seem to be keeping, I think that they have, in general, the best interests at heart. I'd like to think I'm a good judge of character. You, though, admittedly, I am still trying to figure out.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I don't imagine a bit of friendly counsel doesn't make me trustworthy in your eyes, and I understand that. but it's perhaps not the best to spin tales around other people who do trust you.
I'm gonna have Gnome roll insight on what you're implying.
Oh shit! Rook's standing up for sleep. All right.
Don't piss on my leg and tell me it's raining.
I also
Exactly.
love
Trying
that
to
it was
say.
like, Salim, you should really ask him. You know, he trusts you. He'll eventually tell you. I think Rook goes up like, I would like your entire backstory, please.
Look, them
So-
my thembo, and if anyone's going to abuse them, it's going to be me. And maybe Briar a little bit.
Yep.
So he rolled a 19 on that,
Well, fuck.
and
That
he
is-
kind of
It's absolutely like a thinly veiled, like.
I think you are lying. Salim.
Did you roll deception?
I could try rolling an opposite deception, sure.
I mean,
well,
why
it
would
depends.
you say
If you're
it, though?
if you're saying it to imply a sort of
Oh,
a threat, maybe that would be more persuasion.
that's true. That's true.
Oh god.
You in terms of what you're trying to imply.
I think it. Yeah.
Oh my god.
it
Oh
would be
my
a
God.
Oh my
more-
god, you beat it. Holy shit.
Well-
That's ridiculous.
I'm so
As
sorry.
you say
Roy.
As you say that, Gnome kind of furrows his brow a little bit, and then you see a sort of pensive look come over his expression, and he kind of looks off in the distance.
I
I
must think about my life.
suppose You're right. I should be more direct with people who I'm trusting my life with.
Well, we all make mistakes. The trick is just owning them before somebody else does. Saves you the embarrassment and trouble.
You piece of shit.
He tries to stifle his laughter and ends up needing to have to laugh into his hand.
Good.
That's fucking amazing.
I appreciate this talk.
I hope you've learned as much about me as I've learned about you.
I fear you're still a mystery, my friend. I'll bug you more.
Very well.
So as the night rolls on for a little bit, finally it is Bartleby's turn, and it's a fairly uneventful period for Bartleby, but as the sun's coming up, you do have the chance to do some foraging if you'd like.
How's
If you want to
about
roll
that?
survival.
Yeah. Let's see how this goes this morning.
Oh
I don't
no.
find shit. I picked all the berries last night and I eated them.
You only managed to find poisonous berries. Thankfully, you do recognize that they are poisonous, so you don't give your party dysentery.
Oh. I pick a few of them anyway and just stare at them longingly like I wish they weren't poison. Oh, well, I guess it'll be a very simple breakfast. Hi. I guess it'll be like cheese and bread and jerky breakfast. Maybe some nuts.
Not the
See
most
what we got in
exciting,
for-
but
Yeah.
it's food.
I know, right? They're like, but this turns
Hey.
into the Argon Trail real fast. We all get cholera.
I couldn't find you fresh food, but I didn't give you the shits.
Because everybody rises for breakfast. You know, it's not amazing, but it's food.
Welcome to IHOP. It's food.
Just throw it in the dirt. Hell, oh, no kidding.
So, you know, as everybody's sort of getting their bearings together, I'm assuming you all fill each other in on the happenings with the peculiar goblins. I don't know how much you tell everyone, Salim, but what's the party's plan at this point?
We have very important things to do, but a gambling witch sounds cool.
I know, right? I want to go see the gambling witch, but there's no in-game reason for us to do
No.
that. But I want to play
Yeah.
triple triad with the gambling witch.
I mean, eventually. But I think we have to head. It's time to head up to Brackenrest and see what we can do to help.
We have
It's
to go to
only been, what,
Xanarkin
like-
first, but then we can have our 10-2 adventure and go
Yeah.
back and have their musical theme and then our gambling time and a hot
Look, I know the
spring.
garden is falling, but do you want to play triple triad right now?
All I'm
Yeah.
saying is, if we could have gone to see a witch, but we go to Brackenrest and then Roy tells us it wasn't real the whole time, I will shit on the floor.
It'll be fine.
But if we see the witch and then it's not real, it'll all be fine.
Yes.
Sure, I don't know. Let's go.
Right. If everybody's of the same mind, you head on up to Brackenrest.
To Bumblebee. Oh, look at the castle.
So it is a rather quaint but large city. You see, it's sort of made up of like this interlocking series of like rivers and almost cabin-like homes. It has a very warm sort of feel to it, but you do kind of get a sense as you start to walk the city streets that it's certainly overcast with this almost feeling of dread among folk. People are talking about the plague that's been putting people to bed.
Good news, everyone. So what do we do now? Was there someone we were supposed to get to help us make the medicine?
Oh, no need to worry, friends. I'll find the closest apothecary and see if I can make use of their facility.
Okay.
Perhaps this might be a point where we part ways for a little while. I don't suppose there's a place you'd like to meet up?
Well, I guess. Do you know the city? I've never really been here. I've only
Not
passed
well.
by.
Not well,
No.
but
I
Can't
don't
be
know if
too
there's
hard.
like a decent inn we can post up at while
Yeah,
we're
like
here.
if only someone like was supposed to meet a contact here or something, like at any sort of landmark. That would be convenient.
Were we? I'm trying to remember. It's been so long.
I'm pretty sure Rook was supposed to meet his contact here.
yes,
Uh,
I really hoped you weren't talking about me. That's I was like, I don't remember
Yeah.
that. I don't know.
No,
No.
Feist told Rook to
Hmm.
meet them here.
Oh my god, Feist, I forgot.
Yeah, we stand Feist. Feist rules.
Badass.
She's like,
She's
ew,
fucking
fuck off.
amazing. Maybe
Well,
she can join our party now.
Right. I mean, we could, I guess, do some walking around and see if we can find out about a place to stay, but that doesn't help establish a meetup point. Gnome.
well, there is a rather imposing looking castle at the center of town. I suppose
Sure.
if there's any common place to meet up, that's certainly one.
Maybe we could say near the gates in how much time do you think you'll need?
I fear this could take some time, perhaps a day or two.
And how about in front of the castle in 3 days?
3 days' time. I will see you all again soon.
Bye bye.
As Gnome wanders off, you are all left to your own devices to do as you like in the city of Brackenrest.
Woo! Bartleby doesn't just run off.
Just start stealing from everybody.
Not everybody. Just certain people who might deserve it. We'll see what happens. Listen, don't look
Yeah,
at me.
but you would have judged the osteomancer as someone who deserved it at first glance.
To be entirely fair, Bartleby judges himself.
So Bartleby's stealing from everybody.
Well, he's doing better, all right?
Well, I suppose we could take a load off at some kind of tavern we can find, get some food, rest a little bit, maybe talk to some locals, find out what's going on.
Ask
Unless
around
you
a
all have
little
a
bit.
better idea.
I'll get some feel again on some of the inns in the area so that by this evening we can find a place to stay that's not going to rip us off and not going to be a slum.
Maybe we could find out what's happening north too. After all, that traveler that you all were very wary of, when I visited him, he was up north trying to track down the dragon.
Oh, right. Yeah, I guess we have to think about the fact that there's potentially 2 dragons. Well, that's going to be complicated. But I guess they're not here right now, so... Yeah. Go check things out.
Did Rook share that he's meeting up with his contact here, or is that secret? I feel like we saw the woman, and I think we saw you talk to her, but I don't know if we ever, talked to her.
Which makes sense, all things considered.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll say, we probably shouldn't all go in scattered directions, but this seems like as safe a place as any if people have their own things to do. I mean, I don't especially, but I might want to do some shopping, or I'm sure they have a temple or shrine to Saluna here. I'd like to see it if that's the case. Though I'm sure you do too, Salim.
Oh, I suppose so, but she's very patient. And as they
mean,
have their little umbrella over them to shade from the sun. One of those,
And it's probably better to visit in the evening anyway.
yeah, I would agree.
Well,
But I'm open for whatever you all suggest.
why don't we just start wandering and see if we can get a lay of the land and what we can hear on the street, or ask about some of the local taverns or inns.
Do you think they have good food here? Probably
I hope.
better than the Underdark, huh?
Now, that much I hope. Can I do an investigation check to see what I can hear as we go walking?
Sure, yeah. Investigation or perception, whichever one you're feeling more fitting.
I'll do perception, 'cause I'm better at it. 28.
Jesus.
Hot dicky damn. So
What
yeah,
a mouse ears.
as you are walking around and sort of taking in the sights, Bartleby, you can't help but be taken in by the sound of rolling carts. And at first, you think, oh, fresh food, and start bolting towards the direction of the first that you hear. You are met with an unfortunate sight, though.
Oh,
What
no.
they're rolling about are sick and infirmed people rather than fresh trucks of food. You see the people who are wheeling them about, they appear to be in peculiar outfits, the sort that you would expect of plague doctors, with the masks with the long beaks.
Well, I have one of those.
These doctors sort of move with a kind of peculiar shambling way, not the sort of way that a healthy person should be moving about.
That's weird. But I can't obviously really get a look at them to figure out what's going on.
You're not up close, but you do get at least the sight that it seems like around the city, the sick are probably being moved somewhere by these peculiar doctors.
I look a little dejected.
Do you point that out to us at all, or is this just?
Absolutely would point that out and be like, I thought it might be goods or food, but they're moving the sick. They might be trying to quarantine them, I guess. I guess it'll make them easier to treat when we have medicine, but
The weird doctors
Mhm.
and the bodies, are they, how, when you said they were not close to them, are they within 60 feet of us?
I'd say probably more like 120 feet from where you're at right now, but I mean, it wouldn't be hard to come
Yeah.
up
They
close on
weren't
them.
they weren't moving very quickly. I'm sure we could catch up if you I guess to see if they're sick or
Yeah, I want to use divine sense because if they're weird and shambly, that's weird to me. I
could
don't like that.
someone be using some kind of minions that can't get sick?
So with your divine sense, you can sense undead, correct?
Yeah, it's undead,
Mhm.
celestial, infernal, and
Oh.
fairy. Fae.
Yeah. So as you sort of reach out your hand and say your words to Seluna, you can sense that these doctors are in fact some sort of undead creatures. They are not living beings.
That
Salim
is
shares this
upsetting.
with the group.
I don't like that. But I
Is
guess
that common practice here for healers to utilize undead?
I don't know. I mean, I guess it makes sense. They can't get sick, but I don't like it. Unfortunately, again, I don't like it, but I guess they're not short on bodies.
I think Salim would look to Briar specifically, given kind of how she presents herself or the connections she has, to know like locally if that's something like, is that a known thing?
Is that a known practice in these parts, Roy?
You could roll history.
And I guess anybody in the group could, but Salim wouldn't know and is looking to but Briar looks noble, so
No, that is very strange. You've never heard of anyone using undead for purposes like this.
I know. Uh, follow up question to Briar because Bartleby's been through the region, but he's never been in Brackenrest. Are there any? I know laws about things like raising the dead can vary place to place, but I know that's not
Yeah, is
illegal.
necromancy a local taboo?
Oh, most definitely.
Okay. Well, that's actually a little concerning. Then how are they? Who's doing it? If
you don't think it's our
If-
cleric friend, do you?
I guess my question would be, why would he be so Oh no! If he's getting people sick and then moving them somewhere.
Well, suddenly he has a lot more bodies to turn into a lot more servants.
It's kind of like the
Oh
worse
no!
version of the Osteomancer, except I don't think he's putting on a play, and he's not just using skeletons.
And it almost certainly means the second that we have a treatment, he's gonna notice. Which I guess means we have 3 days. Since we just won't have it right away, and I guess there's not really anything we can do.
I mean, this seems different than the other people that have gone missing, but if the sick are also getting carted off or missing.
Right. And I think the other thing about a plague is, unfortunately, in such a big city, normally if someone passes away, like a family would have a a body to bury or burn to see off to the afterlife, but in a time of plague in a large city, sometimes they have large graves or just have to burn the bodies for safety, and so families might not even be looking for their remains to be returned. And could he be building up undead forces?
Well, there's an easy way to find out, I suppose.
Keep sniffing around, or follow the cart is what you were going to say, isn't it?
That is what I was going to say, yes.
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. I wanted to go to food trucks, but you're right.
Well, we
We
still
should-
need food, we still need lodging.
But we
So
have
we
a
should
crew.
deal with those, and then come nightfall, we'll follow them.
Oh, yeah, I guess they're not going to go away, huh?
I don't imagine so, not quickly.
That's fair. Let's take care of ourselves first. We won't help anyone on an empty stomach.
We're legit like, actually, I know there's zombies carting off all these dead bodies, but let's get lunch.
We'll say they're not dead, they are sick.
They're sick. They're
Oh,
not dead.
sorry. That's what I
yet.
meant. I meant that the zombies are
Yeah.
the dead are cutting off the sick. It's like, yeah, they're cutting off all these people, but we can just grab like a Sammy.
Look, if I'm hangry, ain't no sleuthing getting done.
This is true.
And again, this is out of in-game. Sleep's like, hell yeah, let's take a nap
Right.
first.
Right.
Yeah.
Because really, what the fuck are we gonna do? Like kick down the door with no information and no cure?
Well, we're finding out where they're going, and we have several sneaky people here who could follow and see.
Also, I can cast invisibility on people.
Yeah, but I think actually your idea of waiting until nightfall makes better sense. It will be easier to follow unnoticed then.
As long as we don't lose them, right? You said that these are around the city. It's not just this one tiny little entourage, right? Like,
Oh, they're certainly going all around the city at the moment. You just happen to find a collection of them taking
Yeah.
folks from a house.
so in theory, if we waited, we would be able to find like another group to follow.
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
Great.
That's what I just wanted to make sure we're like, yep, here's our lead, and we're like, yeah, we're gonna have lunch, and then we'll.
Yeah, right. Here's this horrible problem. No. It's like in a video game when you're allowed to eat all the food items in a pause menu. Yeah, let's take care of ourselves first. We'll do better if we have a place to work out of, and
It's important to have snackies.
I mean,
It's true.
she's right. Onward to a tavern, because that's awful.
There's a number of different taverns and inns housed with taverns on all around town. One of them that seems to be a little bit more on the quiet side is the Old Bridge Inn. Seems a bit more low key.
That sounds nice.
There's another that is a little bit further, closer to the center city, called the Hearth and Hound. Seems popular, doesn't seem to be particularly rowdy. A little bit more to the east, though, there is a place called the Singing Turnip, and that seems to be most definitely the most rowdy of all of the taverns.
That's Turnip is party town.
Absolutely.
Go to the party turnip.
We'll party Turnip later. I don't know. I'm up for either of the first two. We might have a chance to overhear more things at the what was it? The something hound,
The Hearth and Hound?
Hearth and Hound.
Okay. If everybody's of the same mind, yeah.
Sound good?
Salim will go wherever any of these places as long as they have food and a place to chill.
Let's go.
So wherever people want to go is fine with me.
Right, yeah, so as you approach the Hearth and Hound, You see outside there's like a sort of like swinging sigil of what looks to be a dog munching on a big turkey leg.
Oh, I want to be munching on a big turkey leg.
But oddly enough, it says that its special for the day is honey rose tarts, other than any large fowl.
All right.
As you enter, you are treated to a rather familiar sounding song. It almost sounds like a play on the song that Lucinda had been playing on her harp before. The song that you had to play in order to enter the Shadow Crag.
That's interesting.
The tavern itself is pretty low key. Not like a whole lot of rambunctiousness going on. You get the sense that a lot of people there are probably travelers who have been stuck here for one reason or another. Perhaps a loved one has come down with the plague. Perhaps there's no means to travel through Stone Pass as far as they knew before you guys had cleared the way. So yeah, as you guys enter, you do see that there's some empty chairs and tables available. You are met with some friendly folk who ask if you're here to stay for the night or if you're looking for a meal. Both.
I mean, I don't know about the rest of you, but seems as good a place as any to have a meal, and maybe we can hunker down and then operate from here. Is it like location-wise? Is this like central, outskirts?
It's closer to the central part of the city. Not too far from the castle, actually.
Do y'all want to get a room?
Hey, everyone's not running in fear like everywhere else we've been to because of Ollie, so that's cool.
That's a different thing.
It's a nice change of pace.
Yeah.
Yeah. And everybody here doesn't seem evil.
But he seems to bat an eye looking at Briar. Perhaps some people might note her attire, looking as though she might be a little bit more noble-born than the rest of them. But other than that,
I mean, unless anyone has an objection, I'd say let's grab a meal and then a room we can settle down in. We can always move if we need to. Thoughts? Objections? Condoms? Snacks?
I mean, I'm not going to say no to a time to rest and get a good meal before we keep going. And we do need a place to stay.
That's what I'm thinking.
Have either of you been here before?
That's a good question.
yeah, how far out has Briar been in her travels before?
She's probably been most places, like most major cities at least.
So you've probably been in Brackenrest at some point.
Yeah. Especially if it's a trade hub.
It is indeed. Perhaps a trip with father some time ago.
Some time ago.
Unless you have a better suggestion. But it didn't seem like it.
Sorry, what was the question?
If you have any better suggestion than just grabbing a room here for the night after our meal so we can put our stuff down and then operate out of here as a hub.
Worst case scenario, should we find the establishment wanting, we can find somewhere else tomorrow.
Yeah.
Could be useful to
What
keep
I
ourselves
think.
on the move.
All right. So let's grab a room for the night too.
Okay. This does seem like a pretty good stopping point since you guys have sort of
Mhm.
hit the major hub and sort of have laid your groundwork for where you're going to be hanging. So maybe we could pick this up next time and see if any interesting conversations pop up at the tavern.
Sure.
Our characters hit the inn in game, and we can hit the inn out of game.
Yeah.